David Quigley here. Today we're going to talk about losing weight. Well, you don't have to be a scientist to notice that the weight of this nation is steadily rising, and diseases associated with weight loss have become or expanding at an exponential rate as a result. One way to understand the crisis in weight loss today is, first of all, to know that in our present United States of America, which is not, by the way, the most obese country in the world, but in our present United States of America, 1/3 of the population is obese. That means up to 40% more weight than a healthy body should carry. 33% of our population is obese, and another 33% is simply overweight. So between them, 2/3 of Americans are suffering the consequences of being overweight. Now, it's so easy to look around the world and this country today and say, well, I guess maybe that's the norm. Maybe the human species is always designed to be big egg-shaped people walking around, or perhaps even strolling around on their wheelchairs. What's going on? You may have asked yourself. Well, the answer is not that this is a genetic condition, because throughout most of the history of humanity, people have been thin. Yes. Yes, I can remember back in the days when I was a child that the 2 or 3 fat people in a class of 30 were a source, I'm sorry to say, of ridicule. The rest of us would say, hey, fatso. And most of us were, frankly, skinny by today's standards. Look at any picture of people back in the 1940s and 50s out on the beaches of, for example, the New Jersey shore. You see a lot of pictures of people swimming, and they all look skinny. And they are skinny. This isn't just because of wartime deprivation. In the 1940s and 50s, long after the war was over, people were skinny. Ribs showing, skinny arms, skinny legs, dancing, swimming, playing. Everywhere you go, we had normal-looking people. Something has changed. It's changed very radically. And to this day, scientists are unable to get to the bottom of what is causing this epidemic of overeating. But one thing it's not is that Americans are eating more. Yes, I know it sounds shocking, but as a matter of fact, we consume about the same number of calories now that we did back in the skinny 1940s. Some other factor, therefore, must be causing us to become overweight. And a lot of that has to do with our dietary choices, the kinds of food we're choosing to eat. That is very different than the kinds of food we ate back in the 40s and 50s. Now, back then, there was still plenty of meat on the table. Meat, dairy, eggs, still popular. But back in those days, people ate a lot more vegetables and fruits and other kinds of food. People had a well-balanced meal was very common. You're sitting down to a piece of a steak with a little bit of bread and butter and some green beans and a little casserole over here and some salad was a typical meal back in the 40s and 50s, in which it's estimated that well over half of our calories came in the form of fruits and vegetables. Well, it turns out the average American today only takes in about 1 serving of fruits and vegetables. 1 serving, if you add them both together, per day. And we eat about the same amount of meat, dairy, and eggs and other kinds of products, but these products have been seriously disturbed. The meat, the dairy, the eggs that we eat have been contaminated by the agricultural industry, which has filled them with hormones, filled them with antibiotics, growth-inducing hormones, and other chemicals to make them grow big and fat as quickly as possible. So the kinds of meat that we're eating now is very sick. Much less omega-3 oils, much higher in omega-9 oils, much higher in estrogen-related hormones, creating fatness. We are eating meat designed to create fatness by the agricultural industry. We are drinking milk designed to create obesity and cancer because it's designed to produce as much milk as quickly as possible, overstimulating the body's production of cells, of fat, and ultimately of cancer cells. Our diet is killing us. You can read a book called The China Study, another one called Anti-Cancer, both written by doctors, both written about the well-documented evidence that obesity and cancer are caused by the agricultural business and by our habit of eating far fewer fruits and vegetables that are needed to keep our bodies healthy and vital and strong. So losing weight in America today, in fact in the world, is about changing our diets, but it isn't about just going hungry. It isn't about Jenny Craig telling us what to eat. It's about making deep changes in the body's eating habits and metabolism that are best negotiated by what I call the inner healer, or the body wisdom guide, a guide that can help steer you towards the healthy diet of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, maybe occasional meat, free range, wild caught, the kind of meat that can help us restore our body's ability to burn food effectively. If you want to know why people are overweight, there's another important explanation as well. We in America are trying to fill a huge hollow pit inside of us where love is supposed to belong. When we have been neglected by our parents, especially by our mothers in the first few months and years of life, it's natural that we would try to fill this empty place. First, we have the bottle. Well, compared to the human breast, a bottle will deliver lots and lots of sweet milk or formula. But next to a human breast, there is no love connected, no sense of belonging, no ability for the child to look into mother's eyes and see her smiling face and hear her gentle lullabies and feel her arms squeezing your soft, tender body. Oftentimes, the bottle is simply stuck in the mouth. Now, a mother who feeds her feeds her baby with a bottle, if she gives that baby the love and the nurturing that the breast offers, then we have a happy baby. But for most of us, we carry instead into our adult lives a deep sense of emptiness and longing that we try to stuff full of food, especially food eaten at night, dairy products, chocolate, candy, and sweets. We are trying to give that inner child, that inner baby, the love, the nurturing, the belonging that the bottle never contained. My work with weight loss often has to do with helping clients to contact a new loving mother, a mother in whose arms they can rest and nurse, so they can experience this empty belly finally filled with love. In addition, one of the most important sources of weight problems is something called the Clean Plate Club. You may have heard of it. If you're unlucky enough, you may have had to be a member of it. The Clean Plate Club is a place where people are constantly being fed. Whether you want to eat it or not, you have to keep eating it until it's gone. Pay no attention to the taste buds and their signals, because obviously you don't want to eat that stuff, but your taste buds say no, but ignore that. Ignore your stomach, which is saying, I've had enough. Pay no attention to your body's own signals, because you have to finish what's on your plate. This forces us to stop paying attention to our body's natural signals, and we can use hypnosis to tune in once again. What does it taste like? How good does it taste? How does your tummy feel? We want to train clients to notice how food tastes, to savor each bite, delicious and wonderful and absolutely delectable, with each bite being chewed many times to enjoy the full pleasure, because we don't have to finish the plate, because we don't have to be in a hurry, because we can enjoy every bite. And then down there in the stomach, notice how good it feels in the stomach. And after a few bites, you'll be surprised to notice that your body isn't hungry anymore. Your tummy isn't crying anymore. And the food just tastes kind of bland and pointless. Guess what? That means you're done eating. You may have only eaten 50% of what you thought you would eat. Your stomach may be less than 50% full, but your stomach is satisfied. Your taste buds have had a journey of pleasure like none you've ever had. A journey of pleasure and joy, and now they're done and you've eaten maybe half of what's on the plate. Put the rest away, and your weight loss program is off to a very good start. I literally have to train my weight loss clients on how to eat. Now, there are many other pieces to the weight loss puzzle, many other issues that have to be addressed, but I hope I've given you something to think about. And please call if you want more information about how you can lose the weight permanently that's been holding you back.